Hello, Connecticut. It's Happy Thanksgiving, and we had dinner last night with 6 but 9 extra people for dessert. And a gentleman showed up who we went to Mass with. We were invited to the IMA Bridgeport event between pastors of the evangelicals. And the sermon was given by an excellent pastor who tried to reinforce walking the second mile when someone asks you to do something. It's not like turning the other cheek or an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. It's walking the second mile when asked to do a simple task. And I'm going to ask you to walk the second mile with us. We've been doing things behind the scenes that basically are going to protect everyone in the state from judicial misconduct. We're also working on prosecutorial misconduct. Legislative misconduct will be harder to fight due to Ned Lamont, who's got executive power and won't share even with the General Assembly. But we have something on him, and you'll be hearing about it. But if you wouldn't mind, if you can focus on this letter in my hand, I have it on screen. Ethan Book from Bridgeport, who went to the evangelical meeting at one of the churches in Bridgeport yesterday. We had a great time. I must say, what I took from the Thanksgiving celebration was that with every breath that I am able, I will work to safeguard the Constitution in Connecticut. And we're doing just that. On screen, Ethan filed a complaint against Judge Jacobs. Judge Jacobs has affiliations and does favors for financial companies, NASDAQ, FINRA, the SEC, and is protecting Congressman Jim Himes. There's just no way. Bank of America has committed countless felonies in Fairfield County, and these judges are certainly on the payroll because Kelly Dryan Warren's been cashing stolen checks, and Judge Adams is a partner there. So they're all covering up. And here's a complaint in my hand that forced the investigation on Judge Irene Jacobs. Now, Jacobs heard a case that Malloy committed hundreds of thousands of felonies and denied a jury, denied witnesses, denied subpoenas, denied financial, brokerage firm statements, bank account statements for hundreds of people, hundreds of Connecticut residents. So Ethan went on to complain about Judge Jacobs about a different matter. But if you look at certain judges right now, there are 12 added to lawsuits under criminal statutes by one person alone in Stamford, who is working feverishly to get justice in mortgage foreclosure. I tried. Let me give you a little bit of my background. I own my own brokerage firm. We did biotechnology research. We managed many millions of dollars. We made 100% on the money for a very long time in the 80s and 90s. And in 1997, I bought my own brokerage firm, of which we started doing deals with vaccine companies that in exchange for warrants. So we're missing 250,000 Paladin Labs shares. We're missing 250,000 Virex shares. We're missing 250,000 Alteryx shares. Well, we're missing 3 million Select Therapeutics, which is a gigantic, the largest medical complex in North America. It's out of Toronto. It's affiliated with the Toronto Innovations Foundation and Madame Curie Hospital, the Toronto Hospital, which is the largest hospital in North America. So, to give a little bit of a background, over the years, the SEC kept raising the requirements for biotechs to stay listed, raising the cash requirements. In other words, high burn rate medical companies that were startups were failing. We tracked about 4,000. Half went bankrupt. But all the little companies needed an investment banker. That's what we did. And we found some great technologies. We put a buy on Regeneron at 20, and when it got to 650, we tried to sell our shares, which are no longer in our brokerage account, which is being held by Detective Maloney in the Norwalk Police Department. So you tell me why a local police municipality and a mayor can take over a brokerage firm and steal their assets. Well, you know what? It's flowed over into mortgage fraud and other types of fraud, check fraud, wire fraud, accounting fraud. 34 types of fraud, folks. Subordinated loan fraud. How did they loan money from our balance sheet to a third party and then forgive the loan? Folks, so what's happening in the court is rather dramatic. On November 29th, there is a case in New London that you should go to protect a man who was arrested by Governor Lamont because this gentleman, Jonathan Wright, who's an 8-year veteran, accused the governor, of treason and mentioned what the penalty for treason is. He did not threaten him with death. No. He said, this guy committed treason. The penalty for treason is death. Just like Senator Murphy. Murphy committed treason with the Ukraine president. Murphy committed treason. Senator Chris Murphy committed treason with Iran during the Trump administration. If they took bribes from Ukraine, Burisma, and Leitner during the impeachment, that means they took bribes as a jurist on the impeachment of Trump. Now, the Russian hoax is on Jim Himes, according to Comey, according to Blumenthal, according to many. Jim Himes has had a false narrative, and I hope the Sussman indictment and all that other stuff, all the Mueller report items, will finally catch up with him. But I want to give thanks, because what we learned in the evangelical Bridgeport meeting of the priests and public speakers who run different churches in Bridgeport is that we need to have a mindset of walking the second mile. So I give thanks for our health, for our families, for all the things we need and all the things provided by Christ. It's interesting that the speaker got up on the altar and said, listen, when you squeeze lemons, you get lemonade. When you squeeze oranges, you get orange juice. But when you squeeze a Christian, you get the Holy Spirit. You get Christ. You get the passion of Christ. You get the blood of Christ when you squeeze a Christian. What's happening in Connecticut? They are squeezing all the Christians right out. So I have to take this call, and I thank you very much. Have a great day, and happy Thanksgiving. Sorry, bud. What's up?
So, do you have time to do a conference with Sam Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to call him, and let me remind you that